What can we expect from today's MPC meeting?
Generally, we expect that all the indices will be maintained, MPR at 14 and then CRR at 22.5. But the major thing that we expect tomorrow is the bond auction in the market tomorrow, where 100 billion will be offered across 3 tenors. If nothing changed at the auction today, we expect that the rates will come out at current market trends, which is about 14.5 levels.
All right, but still going back on the MPC meeting, we haven't seen a rate change since July of 2016. You know, any chance that this might happen the rest of this year?
I don't see any reason why that should change today. I mean, the FX has been stable. We've seen a lot of liquidity, FX liquidity coming to the system. All the indices have been playing, the reaction from the indices that have been left have been very impressive. So I don't think they have any reason to change.
And then the uncertainty around the elections and how kind of filtered through how the market's performing, basically, when you look at the yields from bonds and the treasury bills.
Okay, we haven't seen a lot of offerings from the central bank and the DMO for the long-dated securities, that's the T-bills curve. So what we've seen is a lot of bullish bias, and as a result of that, we've seen rates moderate a little from 13%. But recently, last week, we saw CBN come into the market to offer a 350 bill, which is almost 1 year. And we saw a mixed market and then a bearish bias where rates trended up a little, and then we've seen calmness. So there's an auction on Thursday. We hope there's going to be an auction on Thursday because of the maturity we have on Thursday. And we hopefully, if we see them offer like a long-dated bill, then we'll see like a bearish bias, and then the rates will trend up.
Because we've seen that they've actually stopped those long-dated bills for quite a while now, since January, I think.
Yeah,
for OMO bills. Okay, but when you look at how yields are trending, though, you know, what's your outlook for going for the rest of for the next of the quarter?
There was a recent pronouncement by the governor of the Apex Bank saying that they intend to maintain their tightening stance. So I think that a clear indication will be if there's an OMO on Thursday, if they offer a long-dated treasury bill, then we'll take a cue from there.
But when you look at the global environment, you know, and how things are playing from the ECB and then the US Fed, you know, how do you think their policies going so far will impact us in Nigeria?
I mean, for Nigeria, it's the emerging markets. We're paying higher. Our yields are obviously better than what they can get there. So we've seen a lot of interest from the FPIs where they come to invest in our treasury bills. And if you want that to continue, if you want that to support the FX inflows, to continue to support the reserve, we think that it is right to try and offer long-dated bills at good interest rates.
But what's your take on the foreign portfolio investors, the foreign FPI flows? We've seen quite a resurgence from that end of the market. We've seen January, February consistent. And how's your outlook for March? And then what's your take generally on their appetite for Nigeria?
Like you said, there was the election was generally peaceful, and we've seen better yields than what they can get from their from the offshore, from the ECB and the Feds. And we think that if there's continuance of issuance of the long-dated bills at good interest in double digits anyway, that we'll still see some flows from the portfolio investors.
All right, what about the currency, though? We've seen it's been fairly stable in there, but what's your take on the INE window and then the FX reserves?
With the support from the portfolio investors and then the central bank where they continue to intervene, I think we're going to still see a relatively stable currency at 360 levels.
Okay. Looking there, inflation, seen it's moderating, was one of the major concerns for the central bank going into the last MPC meeting. We've seen that has kind of eased now. How do you think they'll put that into their decision-making going into today?
I don't think that he's going to sound hawkish. However, here in the same proclamation where he said that he's going to continue to tighten, he also said that he thinks that inflation will close at 12%. So I think we're going to see a gradual increase in inflation rates. Yeah.
All right. Now, looking at the 2019 budget, you know, we're seeing a new National Assembly coming on board, most likely a new Senate president coming in there as well. When you look at how this is going to be vis-a-vis the budget and how the budgeting is going to be going on from here, you know, what's your take on how things will play out?
There was a shake-off in the Senate. So, like I said, they hopefully before first half they want to sign the budget. I know that they're looking at a lot of constructions, a lot of fiscal sides where there's going to be a lot of construction, and there's going to be a lot of interest in that part. We're going to see borrowing, although they said there's going to be moderation in borrowing. If that happens, I think the budget is going to spoil a lot of spending, because of the improvement they want to do in infrastructure. And if that happens, then that speaks to the fact that the central bank's governor thinks that inflation is going to get to 12%.
All right.